In the early 1950s, the Chevrolet Corvette emerged as America's premier fiberglass sports car, representing a bold new vision of post-war optimism and styling. However, despite its striking appearance, the original C1 generation still retained elements of classic European design philosophies under its skin. As the automotive landscape rapidly evolved into the 1960s, General Motors realized that the aging C1 platform required a fundamental transformation to remain competitive. The public demanded not just superficial beauty, but world-class performance and radical styling that could rival the finest European Grand Tours. The catalyst for this aesthetic revolution was Bill Mitchell, who succeeded Harley Earl as GM's vice president of styling. Mitchell possessed a sharp, modern vision that favored dramatic creases, low profiles, and aggressive contours, moving away from the rounded, heavy chrome designs of the previous decade. During a deep-sea fishing trip, Mitchell became captivated by the streamlined, menacing form of a mako shark, which ignited his creative imagination. He envisioned a highly sculpted vehicle that mimicked this marine predator, characterized by sharp edges, a pronounced beltline, and an incredibly sleek silhouette. This marine inspiration manifested in the legendary 1959 Sting Ray Racer, a private racing project funded by Mitchell himself that laid the visual groundwork. The racer proved that highly stylized, aerodynamic lines could survive the brutal demands of the racetrack while capturing the absolute fascination of the public. While Bill Mitchell focused on the exterior aesthetics, legendary engineer Zora Arkus Duntov worked tirelessly beneath the surface to redefine the car's mechanical soul. Known as the father of the Corvette, Duntov was a seasoned racer who understood that true performance required rigorous engineering discipline. Duntov's primary mission was to transform the Corvette from a stylish cruiser into a dominant track weapon, capable of defeating the world's best. He pushed relentlessly for advanced chassis dynamics, improved weight distribution, and a massive increase in horsepower to match the vehicle's aggressive new appearance. This dual leadership created a highly productive tension inside General Motors, as Mitchell's uncompromising artistic vision constantly clashed with Duntov's cold, scientific physics. Every curve proposed by the styling department had to be justified against the harsh aerodynamic and structural realities demanded by the engineering team. A critical area of contention was the C1's outdated solid rear axle, which severely limited the car's handling capabilities on uneven road surfaces. Duntov knew that to truly compete on the global stage, the next-generation Corvette absolutely required a sophisticated, modern rear suspension system. Duntov answered this challenge by developing a brilliant 3-link independent rear suspension utilizing a transverse leaf spring, which drastically reduced unsprung weight. This engineering breakthrough kept the rear tires planted firmly on the pavement, giving the new car unprecedented cornering traction and stability. At the same time, the design team utilized wind tunnel testing to refine the fiberglass body, ensuring that the radical shapes actually reduced drag. The front end was lowered dramatically, featuring revolutionary hidden headlamps that rotated into place, creating an uninterrupted, ultra-slick nose profile. Manufacturing a fiberglass body with such sharp creases and tight tolerances presented an enormous challenge for Chevrolet's production engineers at the assembly plant. Yet, through innovative molding techniques, they succeeded in bringing Mitchell's complex, highly sculpted panels into reality without sacrificing structural integrity. The transition from C1 to C2 also marked the historic introduction of a closed fastback coupe alongside the traditional open-top convertible model. This new coupe body style offered vastly superior structural rigidity, transforming the Corvette into a true all-weather grand touring machine for the modern era. The defining feature of this new coupe was the highly controversial split rear window, a design element Mitchell defended with absolute passion. Mitchell viewed the central spine running down the rear deck as an essential artistic element that unified the car's entire fastback architecture. Duntov, conversely, vehemently opposed the split window because it obstructed the driver's rearward visibility, presenting a clear safety hazard on the road. This intense debate between designer and engineer highlighted the delicate, often volatile balance between aesthetic purity and functional, real-world utility. Beneath the beautiful fiberglass skin, a completely redesigned ladder frame chassis positioned the heavy V8 engine lower and further back in the frame. This critical adjustment lowered the center of gravity and achieved an almost perfect front-to-rear weight distribution for exceptional handling response. Every detail of the vehicle was meticulously optimized to shed unnecessary weight while significantly increasing the overall torsional stiffness of the platform. The result was a machine that felt incredibly solid, agile, and communicative, direct contrasts to the heavier, softer feeling of the outgoing C1. As the launch date neared, the excitement within Chevrolet reached a fever pitch, knowing they had created something truly extraordinary and unprecedented. The evolution from the boulevard cruising C1 to the race-bred C2 was not merely an incremental update, but a total engineering rebirth. By harmonizing Mitchell's breathtaking design language with Duntof's brilliant, track-tested chassis developments, Chevrolet had achieved the impossible with their new sports car. They created a vehicle that looked like a concept car, but possessed the raw, mechanical reliability of a production powerhouse. This perfect storm of design and engineering set the stage for the official debut of the legendary 1963 Corvette Sting Ray. The transition was complete, signaling the birth of an American automotive icon that would captivate driving enthusiasts around the globe forever. When the automotive world first laid eyes on the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Sting Ray, it was not merely looking at a new sports car, but witnessing a revolution in industrial design that would forever redefine the aesthetic boundaries of American performance. At the very heart of this dramatic visual transformation stood a brilliant young designer named Larry Shinoda, whose visionary sketches and radical concepts breathed life into a machine that looked like it belonged to the deep ocean or a futuristic runway. Under the watchful guidance of GM styling chief Bill Mitchell, Shinoda began working on a design language that drew intense inspiration from the fluid, organic forms of marine life, specifically the predatory grace of the saltwater stingray itself. This aquatic influence manifested in a highly dramatic silhouette, characterized by sharp, creased fender lines, a tapering passenger cabin, and a muscular, low-slung stance that suggested immense power and effortless speed, even when the vehicle was parked. Every line on the fiberglass body of the C2 was meticulously calculated to control airflow while simultaneously creating a striking play of light and shadow that captured the imagination of everyone who stood in the presence of this magnificent machine. One of the most defining and hotly debated features of Shinoda's masterpiece was the legendary split rear window, a design element that became the ultimate signature of the 1963 model and a holy grail for automotive collectors around the globe. Mitchell insisted on this central spine running down the length of the roof, believing it completed the biological visual metaphor of the Stingray's backbone, despite strong protests from engineers who worried about the driver's rearward visibility. This split window divided the rear glass into two exquisite curved panes, creating a futuristic fastback look that harmonized perfectly with the sharp creasing of the rear deck and the dramatic tapering tail of the legendary American sports car. Although the controversial split window would only survive for a single model year due to practical visibility concerns, it secured an eternal place in history as one of the most daring and beautiful styling decisions ever executed on a production automobile. Beyond the highly dramatic roofline, Shinoda incorporated revolutionary hideaway headlights into the sharp front nose, which rotated electrically to maintain a perfectly smooth, uninterrupted aerodynamic surface during the daytime, while providing powerful and reliable illumination at night. These retractable headlamps allowed the front fascia to remain incredibly low and razor-sharp, effectively reducing wind resistance, while creating a menacing, shark-like face that warned rivals of the formidable performance hidden deep beneath the sculpted hood. The hood itself featured highly detailed vents designed to extract heat from the high-performance engine compartment, adding a crucial layer of aggressive mechanical purpose to the otherwise incredibly sleek and flowing lines of this sophisticated American sports car. Moving along the dramatic side profile, the C2 showcased beautiful, non-functional fender vents that closely simulated the gills of a shark, further reinforcing the predatory marine theme that Shinoda and Mitchell so passionately wanted to communicate through the styling. The doors of the revolutionary Sting Ray were also a true marvel of engineering and styling, cut deep into the sloping roofline to allow much easier entry and exit for passengers, while maintaining an ultra-low and sleek cabin profile. Shinoda's attention to detail extended to the rear of the car, where the fuel filler cap was hidden beneath a beautifully cast Corvette emblem on the rear deck, keeping the body panels completely clean and free of unnecessary interruptions. Inside the cabin, this advanced design language continued with a dramatic dual-cowl dashboard inspired by military aviation cockpits, placing a symmetrical array of large, highly legible instruments directly in front of the driver for an immersive, focused driving experience. This interior layout complemented the exterior styling perfectly, making the driver feel as though they were piloting a sophisticated jet aircraft rather than conventional machinery, a feeling that resonated deeply with the optimistic spirit of the space age. The fiberglass body panels were not only essential for achieving these complex, organic shapes that steel could not easily replicate, but they also kept the overall weight of the vehicle remarkably low, enhancing both acceleration and handling capabilities. Through the brilliant synthesis of aerospace-inspired aerodynamics and organic marine aesthetics, Larry Shinoda managed to create an absolutely timeless shape that transcended contemporary trends, establishing a legendary visual identity that would define the entire Corvette brand for decades to come. The C2 Sting Ray stands as an immortal monument to an era of absolute design freedom, where courage, art, and engineering merged perfectly to produce one of the most beautiful and iconic sports cars the world has ever seen. Under the sculpted hood of the 1963 Corvette Sting Ray lies a masterpiece of American engineering. This was the era of raw horsepower and mechanical purity, where the legendary L76 Turbo-Fire 327 V8 engine established itself as the absolute pinnacle of small block performance. The 327 cubic inch V8 displacement was already famous for its efficiency and power, but the L76 variant pushed the envelope of what a naturally aspirated street engine could achieve. It was built specifically for drivers who demanded uncompromising speed and high revving performance. At the heart of the L76 design was its impressive high compression ratio of 11.25 to 1. This aggressive setup squeezed every drop of energy from the high-octane fuel of the era, generating an immediate and incredibly violent throttle response that left competitors far behind. To withstand the immense thermal and mechanical stresses of this ultra-high compression, Chevrolet engineers utilized heavy-duty components throughout the rotating assembly. Domed forged aluminum pistons were connected to high-strength steel rods, ensuring the internal components remained bulletproof, even under continuous high-speed operation. The cylinder heads of the L76 were crafted with larger valves and optimized intake ports to maximize airflow. This free-breathing design allowed the engine to draw in massive volumes of air and fuel, transforming the combustion chamber into a highly efficient chamber of pure explosive energy. One of the most defining technical features of the L76 engine was the utilization of mechanical solid lifters. Unlike hydraulic lifters, which could pump up and fail at high engine speeds, these solid lifters maintained precise valve timing and allowed the engine to rev safely past 6,000 RPM. These solid lifters required periodic manual adjustment, a task that bonded the owner directly to their machine. The physical interaction of setting the valve lash was a rite of passage for enthusiasts, ensuring the engine always operated at its absolute peak of mechanical efficiency. This mechanical valve train produced a distinct and rhythmic metallic ticking sound, an audio signature that became synonymous with serious horsepower. To seasoned street racers, this characteristic sound was a warning that a highly tuned, race-bred power plant was idling under the fiberglass hood of the Corvette. The high-lift, long-duration camshaft profile worked in perfect harmony with the solid lifters to shift the power band higher up the RPM range. This aggressive cam timing gave the L76 a choppy, threatening idle that smoothed out into a fierce, screaming crescendo as the tachometer needle swept upward. Fuel delivery was handled by a massive Holley 4-barrel carburetor sitting proudly atop a lightweight aluminum dual-plane intake manifold. This specialized manifold design ensured an even distribution of the air and fuel mixture to all 8 cylinders, optimizing power delivery across the entire rev range. The aluminum construction of the intake manifold not only improved thermal efficiency, but also shed valuable pounds from the front end of the car. This weight reduction directly enhanced the handling dynamics of the Sting Ray, making it a balanced and formidable weapon on twisting roads. Working in unison, these advanced engineering choices culminated in an astonishing rating of 340 horsepower for its debut year. This impressive figure meant the L76 surpassed the magical threshold of producing more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch of engine displacement from a naturally aspirated setup. This level of specific output was previously reserved only for exotic European sports cars, yet Chevrolet made it reliable and accessible to the American public. It represented a crowning achievement for Chief Engineer Ed Cole and his dedicated team of small block V8 developers. On the street, the L76 quickly became the preferred choice for drag racers and late-night highway runners alike. Its combination of lightweight construction and high-revving horsepower made the Corvette exceptionally quick off the line and virtually unbeatable in mid-range rolling acceleration contests. Unlike the heavier big-block engines of the era, the L76 did not compromise the weight distribution of the Corvette. It allowed the vehicle to retain its razor-sharp steering response and balanced chassis dynamics, creating a sports car that excelled in both straight-line speed and cornering. The driving experience was defined by a sensory overload, as the driver could feel the mechanical vibrations through the shifter and pedals. Depressing the heavy clutch pedal and flooring the accelerator unleashed a ferocious exhaust note that echoed off the asphalt like a pure racing machine. Street racers loved how responsive the L76 was to simple tuning modifications, allowing them to extract even more performance with minor adjustments. It was an engine that rewarded mechanical sympathy and precise driving, solidifying its legendary reputation in the underground street racing culture of America. Even when subjected to the brutal punishment of drag strips and stoplight drag races, the L76 proved to be remarkably durable. Its cast-iron cylinder block and robust bottom-end design meant it could take endless abuse and still fire up reliably the very next morning. The legacy of this iconic engine lies in how it democratized high performance, bringing track-ready technology directly to local dealerships. The L76 was not just an engine option, but a declaration of mechanical superiority that defined the golden age of American muscle and sports cars. Today, the L76 Turbo-Fire 327 remains one of the most celebrated power plants in automotive history. Its brilliant engineering, distinctive mechanical sound, and thrilling power delivery continue to capture the hearts of collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate the pure, unadulterated spirit of classic Corvette performance. To truly challenge the finest sports cars in the world, the second-generation Corvette required a complete transformation beneath its striking fiberglass body. For years, the original C1 had relied on a solid rear axle, which severely limited its handling capabilities on uneven roads and tight racing circuits. The legendary Chevrolet engineer Zora Arkus Duntov knew that straight-line speed was no longer enough to satisfy demanding drivers. He envisioned a machine that could confidently carve through corners, maintaining maximum tire contact with the pavement while rivaling the sophistication of European masterpieces on the track. At the heart of this engineering revolution was the development of a highly advanced independent rear suspension system, a first for any production Corvette. This pioneering setup allowed each rear wheel to react independently to road imperfections, dramatically improving overall stability and keeping the vehicle firmly planted. Instead of using traditional heavy coil springs or a bulky multi-link arrangement, Duntov and his team implemented a unique transverse multi-leaf spring. Mounted horizontally across the rear frame, this single steel spring supported both wheels simultaneously while performing multiple functions with remarkable mechanical efficiency. This transverse leaf spring configuration provided an incredibly lightweight solution that saved critical space beneath the sleek rear deck of the Sting Ray. By keeping the spring low and centered, engineers successfully lowered the center of gravity, which reduced body roll during aggressive cornering maneuvers. The structural brilliance of the C2 independent rear suspension lay in its clever three-link design, which utilized the axle half shafts as control members. By making the heavy-duty drive shafts double as the upper suspension links, Chevrolet engineers eliminated the need for heavy upper arms. This dual-purpose role of the axle shafts significantly reduced unsprung weight, allowing the rear suspension to react much faster to rapid road changes. With less moving mass to control, the dampers could maintain precise tire contact, ensuring consistent grip even under extreme cornering forces. Complementing this revolutionary rear setup was a refined front suspension featuring independent double wishbones of unequal length, which optimized tire camber during hard turns. This design minimized tread squirm and kept the front contact patch as wide as possible, giving the driver immediate and direct feedback. Steering geometry was also completely redesigned for the C2, incorporating a recirculating ball steering gear that offered quicker ratios and sharper response. Drivers could now place the Sting Ray into tight apexes with surgical precision, feeling an unprecedented level of connection to the asphalt below. Supporting these advanced suspension components was an entirely new steel ladder frame that replaced the older and heavier X-member design of the predecessor. This updated chassis featured boxed side rails that ran along the outer edges of the body, providing exceptional torsional rigidity and strength. By positioning the frame rails further outward, the engineers could drop the passenger compartment floor deeper between the structural steel beams. This intelligent layout allowed for a lower seating position for the driver, which enhanced the sports car experience while lowering the overall profile. Duntov paid meticulous attention to the roll center geometry of both the front and rear suspension systems to minimize diagonal weight transfer. By aligning these roll centers with the center of gravity, the chassis naturally resisted the urge to lean heavily during quick directional transitions. Achieving a balanced weight distribution was another primary goal for the engineering team, who strove for an ideal front-to-rear ratio. By moving the heavy L76 V8 engine slightly rearward, they achieved a near-perfect balance that maximized rear traction during hard acceleration. This optimized weight distribution worked in perfect harmony with the independent rear suspension, allowing the driver to apply power much earlier in corners. The mechanical grip generated by the chassis meant that the massive torque of the engine could be translated into forward momentum. To further enhance cornering performance and prevent inner wheel spin, Chevrolet offered the sophisticated Positraction limited slip differential as a crucial option. This unit distributed engine power effectively between the rear tires, ensuring maximum drive out of slow corners and on slippery road surfaces. The development of this cutting-edge chassis was subjected to thousands of miles of rigorous testing at the demanding General Motors proving grounds. Duntov himself pushed prototype vehicles to their absolute limits on high-speed ovals and twisting handling courses to fine-tune the suspension dampening. These grueling test sessions proved that the C2 was fully capable of challenging prestigious sports cars from manufacturers like Jaguar and Porsche. On both public highways and closed racing circuits, the American newcomer demonstrated a level of poise and agility that shocked the automotive establishment. What made the Sting Ray truly exceptional was its ability to deliver a remarkably compliant ride without sacrificing its hardcore track performance. The progressive rate of the transverse leaf spring absorbed harsh bumps smoothly, yet stiffened up instantly when subjected to heavy cornering loads. No longer could critics dismiss the Corvette as a straight-line cruiser that stumbled when confronted with challenging, twisty mountain passes. The C2 chassis proved that American engineers could master the art of suspension design, delivering a balanced and highly capable sports car. Ultimately, the engineering triumphs of the C2 chassis and suspension redefined the capabilities of the Corvette, elevating it to world-class status. Duntov's relentless pursuit of handling perfection laid the technical foundation for a legacy of performance that continues to define the brand today. To truly understand the Corvette Sting Ray, one must slip into the low-slung bucket seat, grasp the thin-rimmed steering wheel, and twist the ignition. Instantly, the L76 Turbo-Fire V8 erupts into life, sending a deep, rhythmic tremor straight through the fiberglass body. Engaging the heavy clutch requires deliberate effort, a physical introduction to a machine that demands respect. As you slot the chrome shifter into first gear, the mechanical connection is immediate, signaling that this is a sports car built for active, engaged drivers. Pressing down on the accelerator pedal unleashes a ferocious wave of torque from the high-compression 327 cubic inch small block. The mechanical lifters clatter with a purpose-built urgency as the tachometer needle sweeps eagerly toward the high red line of 6,500 RPM. The exhaust note is a roaring symphony of pure American horsepower, echoing off the asphalt through the optional side-mounted pipes. It is a raw, mechanical melody that fills the cabin, completely replacing any need for a radio with its intoxicating high RPM wail. Key to harnessing this ferocious energy is the legendary Muncie 4-speed manual transmission, affectionately known to enthusiasts as the Rock Crusher. Each gear change is incredibly crisp and precise, characterized by a metallic snick that confirms a positive lock into the next ratio. The close ratio gearing keeps the L76 engine singing perfectly in its sweet spot, maximizing the power band with every shift. Acceleration is relentless and linear, pinning the driver back into the vinyl seat as the Sting Ray surges forward with breathtaking urgency. As the road begins to twist, the innovative independent rear suspension showcases its remarkable capabilities. By utilizing a transverse leaf spring, the rear wheels manage to maintain maximum contact with the tarmac, delivering a level of cornering stability previously unknown to American cars. The steering is remarkably quick and communicative, letting the driver feel every imperfection and change in the road surface. With a front-to-rear weight distribution that approaches a near-perfect balance, the C2 dives into corners with an eager, sharp turn-in response. Through fast, sweeping bends, the rigid ladder frame and redesigned suspension work together to minimize body roll. The car feels incredibly flat and composed, instilling confidence and encouraging the driver to push harder through every challenging apex on the open road. Yet, this is a classic rear-wheel drive machine without modern electronic safety nets, requiring constant concentration from behind the wheel. Power oversteer is always just a slight throttle adjustment away, allowing skilled drivers to steer the rear end with their right foot. However, this immense acceleration and high-speed cornering ability eventually ran into the physical limitations of period-correct braking technology. Early iterations of the C2 Sting Ray relied on heavy-duty drum brakes at all four corners, which struggled under extreme driving conditions. Under repeated hard deceleration from high speeds, these drum brakes quickly accumulated heat, leading to the dreaded phenomenon of brake fade. The pedal would turn soft and spongy, demanding that the driver plan their stopping distances with extreme foresight and caution. To solve this critical bottleneck, Chevrolet introduced revolutionary four-wheel disc brakes as standard equipment for the 1965 model year. Developed with racing experience, these ventilated rotors provided consistent stopping power and vastly improved the overall safety of the sports car. The difference was absolutely night and day, transforming the C2 into a much more balanced and capable high-performance machine. With the new disc brakes, drivers could finally deep dive into corners, confident that the car would stop straight and true every time. Beyond the limits of track-like driving, the road manners of the C2 Sting Ray are surprisingly sophisticated for its era. While the suspension is undeniably firm, it absorbs minor road imperfections without upsetting the chassis or compromising the driver's comfort during long journeys. Every drive in an L76-powered Sting Ray is a multi-sensory experience that engages all of your human senses. The scent of unburned fuel, the heat radiating from the transmission tunnel, and the vibrations through the seat connect you directly to the machine. At higher speeds, the dramatic aerodynamic lines of the Sting Ray bodywork generate unique wind noises and lift characteristics. The sleek front nose cuts through the air, but the high-velocity slipstream reminds you of the boundary-pushing design limits of the mid-60s. Unlike modern sports cars that filter out the road through digital assists, the C2 offers an unfiltered analog driving connection. Every input from your hands and feet translates directly into an immediate mechanical reaction, celebrating a bygone era of pure motoring. The L76 engine truly defines the driving dynamics of this legendary Corvette, balancing high-strung racing pedigree with street usability. It is a power plant that demands to be revved hard, rewarding the bold driver with breathtaking performance and an unforgettable mechanical symphony. Ultimately, piloting this classic machine is an exercise in managing power and precision with absolute respect and focus. The C2 Sting Ray remains a glowing testament to an era when driving was a visceral, highly challenging, and deeply rewarding physical art form. To truly understand the greatness of the Chevrolet Corvette Sting Ray C2, one must venture beyond the gorgeous exterior and step onto the bustling factory floor of the St. Louis assembly plant, where automotive history was forged daily. The year 1963 marked a monumental shift in manufacturing, as this specialized facility had to adapt to a sports car that was fundamentally different from any conventional steel-bodied vehicle being built in America during that legendary era. At the heart of the manufacturing challenge was the revolutionary fiberglass body, a material that promised lightweight agility and complex styling curves, but demanded highly specialized, labor-intensive fabrication techniques that pushed workers to their absolute limits. Unlike traditional steel panels that could be stamped out in seconds by heavy machinery, each fiberglass component of the Corvette had to be molded, cured, and bonded together, using techniques more akin to aerospace construction than automotive assembly. The intricate split-window design of the iconic 1963 coupe presented an unprecedented obstacle for the factory team, requiring multiple separate fiberglass panels to be aligned with absolute precision before they could be permanently bonded together using strong adhesives. Any slight variation in the molding process could result in unsightly panel gaps or structural weakness, meaning that skilled quality control inspectors had to meticulously examine every single body shell before it moved further down the line. The bonding process itself was a scientific art form, utilizing advanced chemical resins and thermal ovens to cure the joints, ensuring that the sleek body panels remained perfectly integrated under the extreme stresses of high-speed driving. Once the complex fiberglass structure was fully assembled, it entered the state-of-the-art paint shop, where technicians faced the daunting task of applying a flawless mirror finish to a material that behaved very differently from traditional automotive sheet metal. Because fiberglass is naturally porous and prone to absorbing moisture, a meticulous multi-step hand sanding, priming, and thermal baking process was absolutely essential to prevent any microscopic surface imperfections from ruining the final metallic paint finish. While one half of the St. Louis plant focused on perfecting the composite body, the other half was dedicated to preparing the robust mechanical foundations of the car, starting with the innovative ladder frame chassis design. This rigid steel frame was engineered to provide a solid backbone for the advanced independent rear suspension, a sophisticated setup that required precise assembly and alignment of the control arms, transverse leaf spring, and heavy rear differential. Simultaneously, the engine assembly area was preparing the legendary heart of the machine, the high-performance L76 Turbo-Fire 327 cubic inch V8, which demanded a level of precision matching the finest racing engines of the era. Each L76 engine was meticulously built with premium heavy-duty components, including a forged steel crankshaft, high-compression domed aluminum pistons, and a high-lift mechanical solid-lifter camshaft that required careful manual adjustment by highly trained engine builders. The installation of the massive dual-feed Holley 4-barrel carburetor and the specialized aluminum intake manifold required perfect sealing to ensure that the vital air-fuel mixture would flow without any restriction into the high-flow cylinder heads. Every completed L76 engine underwent rigorous quality testing right there on the factory floor, allowing technicians to verify that each high-compression power plant met its rated output of 340 horsepower before being approved for vehicle installation. The marriage of the chassis and the body, known as the body drop station, was a dramatic moment on the assembly line, requiring overhead cranes to carefully lower the fragile fiberglass body onto the completed mechanical chassis. Workers stood ready at their designated stations to guide the body into perfect position, quickly threading heavy bolts through specialized rubber isolation mounts that were designed to minimize road vibration while maintaining excellent structural rigidity. Once the fiberglass body was firmly secured to the steel frame, the final assembly phase began, during which the luxurious interior components, complex wiring harnesses, and the gorgeous double-hump dashboard dials were installed with painstaking attention to detail. Every single Corvette Sting Ray that rolled off the St. Louis line stood as a magnificent testament to the incredible synergy between visionary styling, cutting-edge material science, and the tireless dedication of the American automotive workforce. This unique combination of pioneering fiberglass craftsmanship and high-performance mechanical engineering created an absolute masterpiece, proving that mass production could indeed coexist with the high standards of a hand-built, world-class grand touring sports car. When the Chevrolet Corvette Sting Ray debuted in late 1962, it instantly captured the imagination of the global automotive world. Its radical, aggressive lines promised unmatched speed. But one specific design element sparked a massive internal war that would define the legendary car's legacy. At the center of this dramatic conflict were two strong-willed giants of General Motors. Bill Mitchell, the flamboyant styling chief, prioritized visual drama, while Zora Arkus Duntov, the brilliant chief engineer, demanded uncompromising mechanical function and absolute safety on the racetrack. Mitchell envisioned a continuous, sharp crease running along the entire length of the coupe, mimicking the sleek spine of a Sting Ray. To achieve this striking aesthetic, he insisted on dividing the rear window into two distinct glass panes, separated by a structural metallic bar. Duntov was instantly horrified by this proposal, viewing the central dividing bar as an unacceptable safety hazard. He argued that blocking the driver's rearward visibility was a critical mistake for a high-performance sports car meant to be driven at high speeds. The corporate boardroom became a battleground of philosophy, representing the classic struggle between form and function. Mitchell fiercely defended his artistic vision, claiming that removing the split window would destroy the unique identity and futuristic soul of the entire Sting Ray concept. Duntov fought back with engineering data, warning that the split glass added unnecessary weight and increased manufacturing complexity. He believed that every component of the Corvette should serve a functional purpose, rather than merely acting as an expensive piece of styling theater. Ultimately, Mitchell won the first round, and the iconic 1963 Sting Ray coupe rolled off the assembly line with the controversial split window design. It was a visual triumph that stunned onlookers, but Duntov's practical concerns were quickly realized in the real world. As soon as the car reached customers, reports of poor rear visibility began to flood into dealerships. drivers complained that the thick central pillar completely blocked their view of vehicles trailing behind, making highway lane changes and parking maneuvers unnecessarily stressful. Recognizing the validity of these safety concerns, General Motors quickly pivoted for the 1964 model year. The split-window design was eliminated, replaced by a single, beautifully curved sheet of glass that offered unobstructed views and silenced the critics once and for all. This sudden change instantly turned the 1963 split-window coupe into a rare, highly collectible masterpiece. What was once criticized as a dangerous design flaw became the most sought-after and instantly recognizable feature in the entire history of American sports cars. Beyond the dramatic glass controversy, the transition to the 1964 model year allowed Chevrolet engineers to implement crucial mid-cycle refinements. These targeted mechanical updates transformed the Corvette from an unrefined, raw prototype into a sophisticated, world-class Grand Tourer. To address criticisms of a harsh and unrefined ride, engineers heavily revised the suspension tuning. They recalibrated the front coil springs and adjusted the rear transverse leaf spring, delivering a much smoother ride without sacrificing the car's aggressive cornering ability. Cabin comfort was also significantly improved by adding advanced sound-deadening insulation throughout the body. This helped isolate passengers from the intense heat and mechanical noise rising from the drivetrain, making long-distance journeys far more comfortable and enjoyable. The drivetrain itself received critical updates to handle the immense power of the high-revving L76 engine. The aging Borg-Warner 4-speed manual transmission was replaced by the rugged, aluminum-cased Muncie gearbox, renowned for its precise shift linkage and legendary durability. Under the hood, the L76 Turbo-Fire 327 V8 underwent meticulous mechanical refinements to enhance its legendary performance. Engineers optimized the Holley carburetor and fine-tuned the solid lifter camshaft, raising the engine's output to an impressive 365 horsepower. To ensure this increased power was delivered reliably, Chevrolet introduced an innovative transistorized ignition system. This advanced technology provided a much hotter and more stable electrical spark at high engine speeds, preventing misfires and maximizing fuel efficiency during spirited driving. The engine's cooling system was also upgraded with a larger aluminum radiator and an improved fan clutch. These changes kept the high-compression V8 running cool, even under the brutal thermal stresses of competitive racing on hot summer afternoons. Engineers also turned their attention to the braking system, laying the groundwork for future innovations. They improved the drum brakes with sintered metallic linings, offering much better resistance to brake fade during repeated high-speed stops on challenging road courses. The relentless tension between Mitchell's design studio and Duntof's engineering team ultimately proved highly productive. This creative friction pushed the Sting Ray to evolve rapidly, ensuring that its breathtaking aesthetics were always backed by world-beating mechanical substance. By balancing jaw-dropping styling with continuous mechanical evolution, the C2 Corvette secured its place in automotive history. It was a vehicle born from compromise and controversy, yet it emerged as an undisputed American icon of performance and design. The Chevrolet Corvette C2 Sting Ray remains one of the most significant achievements in automotive history. Its debut in 1963 redefined the American sports car, blending breathtaking aesthetics with advanced engineering that challenged the finest Grand Tours coming out of Europe at the time. At the heart of this revolution was a design philosophy that favored dramatic proportions and aggressive contours. Bill Mitchell and his styling team crafted a masterwork of sharp creases and flowing lines, inspired by the sleek contours of marine predators and high-speed aeronautical design. Underneath its fiberglass skin lay the legendary L76 Turbo-Fire 327 cubic-inch V8 engine. Generating 340 horsepower, this mechanical marvel delivered a high-revving performance that established the small block architecture as the absolute benchmark for American V8 power and reliability. The L76 engine was more than just a power source. It was a testament to engineering efficiency. By using a high compression ratio and advanced solid lifter camshaft design, Chevrolet engineers squeezed maximum horsepower from a relatively compact displacement, proving that massive muscle did not require heavy engine blocks. This relentless pursuit of mechanical excellence cemented the Corvette as America's premier high-performance machine. The C2 did not merely compete with European exotics on the racetrack. It democratized world-class performance, offering everyday drivers access to a level of speed and agility previously reserved for the ultra-wealthy. The structural innovations of the C2 set a crucial precedent for all subsequent generations of the Corvette. From the integration of the ladder-type frame to the extensive use of lightweight fiberglass panels, the engineering decisions made in the 1960s still influence modern sports car manufacturing processes. Perhaps the most significant chassis advancement of the C2 was the introduction of a fully independent rear suspension. Designed by Zora Arkus Duntov, this sophisticated setup utilized a transverse leaf spring, instantly transforming the Corvette from a straight-line drag racer into a formidable corner-carving machine on public roads. This technical leap forward allowed the Corvette to challenge global standards of handling and ride quality. By isolating rear-wheel movement, the Sting Ray achieved a level of stability and traction that allowed drivers to confidently deploy the full power of the L76 engine on any surface. The legacy of the C2 is deeply visible in the design language of modern Corvettes. Even as the platform transitioned to a mid-engine layout in recent years, the aggressive fender peaks, the pointed nose, and the dramatic side air vents trace their aesthetic lineage directly back to the 1963 masterpiece. Inside the cabin, the C2 established the iconic dual cockpit design that remains a signature feature of the brand. This driver-focused layout cocooned the occupants in an environment that felt less like a traditional passenger car and more like the cockpit of a supersonic fighter jet. The Sting Ray name itself became synonymous with raw speed and beautiful design. The vehicle became a pop culture phenomenon, appearing in movies, television shows, and the garages of astronauts, symbolizing the optimistic spirit of an era defined by the space race and technological ambition. On the racetracks of the world, the C2 solidified its legendary status through the ultra-rare Z06 competition package. This option group turned the Sting Ray into a track-ready weapon, proving that the basic engineering of the road car was robust enough to endure grueling endurance races. The durability of the L76 engine played a vital role in these motorsport triumphs. Its robust iron block, forged steel crankshaft, and high-flow cylinder heads meant that privateer racers could run their cars at high revolutions per minute for hours without fear of catastrophic mechanical failure. As the decades progressed, the C2 Sting Ray transitioned from a contemporary sports car into a highly coveted collector's piece. Automotive enthusiasts worldwide recognize the unique split-window coupe of 1963 as a crowning achievement of 20th century industrial design, commanding immense respect at prestigious auctions. The enduring appeal of this machine lies in its perfect balance of form and function. Every scoop, crease, and vent on the body served a distinct aerodynamic or cooling purpose, showcasing a brilliant harmony between artistic vision and practical engineering that modern designers still strive to emulate. The lessons learned from the C2 development cycle directly informed the creation of the C3, C4, and beyond. Each subsequent generation of Corvette has built upon the core principles established by the Sting Ray: lightweight materials, exceptional power-to-weight ratios, and an unmistakable road presence. Furthermore, the L76 engine laid the groundwork for future generations of small-block V8 engines. The continuous evolution of high-performance combustion chambers and valve trains can trace its heritage back to the innovations tested on the high-revving 327 cubic-inch engines of the mid-60s. To look at a modern Corvette today is to see the shadow of the 1963 Sting Ray. The relentless pursuit of performance, the refusal to compromise on driver engagement, and the bold American attitude are all traits that were forged during the development of the C2. It was the car that proved America could build a sports car capable of conquering the world stage. By combining breathtaking styling with the high-revving fury of the L76 V8, Chevrolet created an immortal legend that will forever define the golden age of automotive design. Ultimately, the C2 Sting Ray did not just write a chapter in the history of Chevrolet. It created the blueprint for the modern Corvette. Its spirit lives on in every roar of a V8 engine and every sharp turn taken by America's sports car on roads around the globe.
If you absolutely enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary C2 Corvette Sting Ray and its incredible high-revving L76 V8 engine, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right now to never miss our exciting automotive history documentaries. Please do not forget to give this video a massive thumbs up and share it with your fellow car enthusiasts who appreciate the roaring sound of classic American muscle and timeless design engineering masterpieces from the golden era. Make sure to click the notification bell to stay instantly updated with our latest mechanical deep dives, and tell us your personal thoughts on this absolute automotive icon in the comments down below.